This is Dave Learns AI, a Taptico Solutions podcast. I'm Dave Clapper, diving into the real-world ways AI is changing business, creativity, and how we work. No fluff, no jargon, just practical insights and experiments you can learn from right alongside me.
Oh, Dave Learns AI.
Like, holy crap, I just need to figure this out because it's crazy.
Wait.
Like, I was sitting, I was living with Dutch, right? I was living with Dutch. He had his girlfriend there. So I'm sitting in my room for weeks at a time, literally just like trying to stay out of their hair. And I see this thing about OpenClaw, and it's literally just, I'm like, this is it. This is what we're talking about. Like, this is where it's headed. All of this 2 years of trying to learn about AI is like, this is it. This is the time. The time is now.
Nick, we're gonna get to that. You're giving it all out before we even get started here. Wow, there's so much to talk about and so much excitement.
I'm a content whore. I just give it away for free.
You can tell you're excited, and there's a lot of reasons to be excited. And ultimately, we're going to talk about some of those things, guys. Here's the deal. Nick built 52 AI employees, and we've been talking about it a little bit in the last couple of weeks. And we're going to talk more specifically about it because it's been validated. It's been validated in the world of AI by one of the most powerful men in the business. And we're going to talk about details on that. We're going to talk about how we've created it, why we created it, or Nick created, and what we're going to do with it, and how important it is for everybody. Listen, this is called Dave Learns AI. I'm Dave. We've got Tribble and Nick. Nick's the founder. Tribble and I are just partners, just along for the ride, really. This has just been almost a year, and it's been a crazy ride. So ultimately, we talk about this is where I learn a bunch of stuff. I am in the weeds with Nick, but Nick has been going nuts, man. Really doing a lot of stuff that's been pretty crazy. And real quickly, the GTC 2026 happened this past week. NVIDIA just announced NemoClaw, which is basically NVIDIA putting its full weight behind the kind of thing that Nick and Taptico has been doing for months now. And that's pretty much where we're going to get going. So, Nick,
yeah,
give us a little bit about NVIDIA and the validation of what just happened this past week.
So anyone that listens to our podcast has heard us talk about OpenClaw. We've talked about Bo. Bo is our version of OpenClaw, right? And when I saw this, like, that's what I was talking about earlier, because we did a little bit of pre-talk here, and then Dave hit record, and then all of a sudden, here we are. But basically, OpenClaw is your own personal AI that actually literally does stuff, right? You give it access to your entire computer. It can do whatever you want, right? I've got Bo running on an old MacBook, 2018 MacBook Pro, which we're gonna upgrade that soon. But as he crashed out once. I'm not a coder, man. Like, I don't know how to code. I'm a marketing brand guy, right? I'm a process guy. But I saw the foundation to build AI processes and systems was put in place with OpenClaw. So it was kind of like a eureka moment for me. And so I think I saw it on a YouTube. Alex Finn, by the way, if you guys are into this, specifically OpenClaw, NemoClaw, Alex Finn he's the one. He's
a great follow.
Yeah, he's funny. He is easy and approachable, and he's sarcastic. He's great. But maybe we'll get him on, Dave. I'll make that a thing. So I think I saw him talking about it, and I was like, and literally, like, I'm stuck in a room, right? Because I think it was actually up when the ice was coming through.
Yeah. Ice storm.
And I had a hotel room, and I was in a hotel room with the ice, and I just kind of started. So whatever the date was of that is when I started on OpenClaw, when ice came through Atlanta. So, sorry, that was 6 weeks ago, give or take. And since then, OpenClaw has updated probably over 20 times now, 25 times. It updates so often that they actually change the name of the version is the date. The specific date. It's like 2026.03.17. That's how often it changes. Weekly. That's why they have to do it like that. So anyway,
Think
so
how much. Think how much. Let me just jump in because how much our business has changed in 7 weeks. Think
right.
how much this has changed our business. And when I saw GTC and Jensen standing on stage, Nick, you're a tech nerd, kind of like me. It reminded me of the old days of the WWDC, the Worldwide Developer Conference with
Yes,
Apple,
Apple.
and
Yep.
and how every year people would go there, and it would just be everybody's just waiting for something to blow their minds, and every time they deliver, it's that kind of energy going on in the AI space right now.
Yeah, and Jensen Huang, who is the guy that started NVIDIA, and just quick recap if you don't know who that is, NVIDIA builds all the chips that allow AI tools to do what they do. So they did a really brilliant thing in my estimation as a mastermind of business.
And events.
They're doing open means it's free. That's what OpenClaw, right? NemoClaw, OpenAI is supposed to be free, but open source is basically free code base. So what OpenClaw is, it's free if you know how to run it. You just know how to have a GitHub. You know how to run command line interface. You need to know how to build it out. You need to know how to run OAuth and API keys. I didn't know what any of that meant 2 months ago. I know what an API key was. That's about it. CLI, command line interface. That's terminal use, right? I'd never
Okay,
opened up my
and I, I
What?
don't want to get in the weeds of all the coding talk just at this particular point, because we're really trying to. I want to build the story of how you got from, or how we got from here to here in such a short time. I mean, think of this. Before any of this, which happened 7 weeks ago, or even before Taptico, we all joined forces back last year. What problem were you actually trying to solve? Not the AI version, like the
Right.
real problem. What was the moment you decided to try AI instead of just hiring a person? Now, you didn't know what you were doing. You just knew that this was something you wanted to do. Like, tell me more about
So
what happened
when I
before.
was the head of marketing for Gusto, built that from 2 locations to 12, whatever it is. I got stuck in meetings all the time, and I'm running marketing for 12 different locations locally, and all of the online stuff, the website, social media, uh, newsletter, everything, right? Our rewards platform. You get so busy and mired down, and when you start managing people, you get stuck in meetings. So you're working in your business, not on it. This is about the time that ChatGPT came out. And I remember telling my marketing team, who I love all of them dearly, they're amazing, they're like a family. I said, if you guys aren't learning about AI right now, you need to. It's going to make all of our lives a lot easier. But I was too busy to do it because I was stuck in meetings in corporate America. And that made me want to put my head in an oven, but an electric oven, not a gas oven. So more of a cry for help. But
Just pain.
yeah, just give me the pain. So I leave Gusto because I just lost the passion. And if I'm not waking up excited to go to work on a Monday morning, then I'm off track. And so I left Gusto. They knew I would checked out. I still love Nate Hibble like a brother. I'd take a bullet for that man. And I, I had savings. I'm laying around, not doing anything. So I'm like, I'm gonna learn AI right now. And that's what started me down this path. But I've been laid off, I don't know, Dave, what, 4 or 5 times in my life by big corporate. So is
Yeah.
Dave. Dave got laid off from a massive company that everyone's heard of because he was doing too good of a job and making too much money on bonuses. True story.
That is a
So
fact.
that's true story. So I'm just anti-corporate. And I just think that they're soulless. I believe that corporations and 9 to 5 is the current slavery, honestly, because you're forced to be there, and if you want to work and have a house, if you want to eat and have a house, you better go to work and do what we say. And you better ask for time off. You better do all, I hate it. So, I started learning AI, and Taptico came to me because I was like, AI is the solution that's going to help the Davids take on the Goliaths. I'm a fan of entrepreneurs. I'm a fan of small businesses. Main Street America, the moms and pops, all those guys getting, either decimated by chain stores, franchise, all that stuff. No, like I want people to be able to follow the American dream, and you don't get rich and you don't get to fulfill your dream working a 9 to 5 for a corporation when the actual shareholder is the one who everyone bends the knee to. So Taptico, I'm like, we can help small businesses by integrating AI because no one else has the time to learn it. No one else had the benefit of being laid up on the couch for a year and a half with living off their savings account, spending 10 to 12 hours a day learning this stuff. I did. Now I've got the knowledge, and now I'm sharing it with you fine people.
Who was the what was the first agent? Can you was it in the moment when you found OpenClaw, or were you kind of starting to play with agents, naming people, assigning responsibilities and jobs before the OpenClaw door opened for you?
So,
At what moment were you like, okay, this is next level?
So Pia was the first agent, and that was for our first ever client that thank you, Chuck Richardson, put this on tape
Yeah.
forever. Literally the day that we sent out a press release and announced that we're launching this company, Chuck Richardson, who I went to high school with, hadn't talked to in 20 years, requests a meeting. And Dave was with me, and we're looking at our phones because we get notifications like, we got a meeting. And Dave's like, this guy's like, I went to high school with him. And he did the same thing. He left corporate America and started his own deal. And he's just been so supportive and so patient as we learn what we're doing. And then Lazy Boy in Columbus, I was the second one. And with them on board, it provided us, enough money to pay some of the bills, but to continue, it validated where we were going. So since then, it's been boom, boom, boom. So I built PIA, which is short for Project Intelligence Agent, for Chuck and his team. They run in Microsoft, and what PIA does is they have a lot of junior associates there. And what it does is it actually is an expert on all of CIG, which is our client, all of their historical data. So everyone has access to historical data to work on future work. So if an RFP comes, a request for promotion comes in, they can type in or copy and paste it in there, and PIA will go back, search literally all of their files, tens of thousands of files, Excel spreadsheets longer than my arms, just massive amounts of data, and instantly or almost instantly be able to extract the data they're looking for. And that was the first agent I built.
Tribble, what was when you're starting to see what he was doing? What was your first reaction? This man's insane. He's like Dr. Frankenstein. He must have been blown away.
I call it a paradigm shift. And Nick going in the lab and learning this stuff, when I'm hearing him tell his story, I just think of all the things that he had to learn so that he could be at the right place at the right time when this OpenClaw and agentic AI kind of came around. If he would have just been dipping his toe into all this, or if we had just started as a company, we might not have been ready to pivot and really adapt our processes to what the technology could bring us. And so, yeah, it's mind-blowing, Dave. I think that it welcomed or encouraged me to get out of my comfort zone with the chat GPTs and the basic LLMs. And it really encouraged me to kind of start incorporating agentic AI into my processes as well. And that's what I tell everybody. Get off chat GPT, get into a Manus agent, a Perplexity computer, chat GPT 5.4 now. Just start tinkering and it'll blow your mind too.
So it's crazy because it was, I don't know, maybe a month ago, a little more than a month ago, we were talking about Dave Learns AI, and we're like, let's make it a tool feature, and we're gonna tell people about tools, how to use them in the best case scenario or use case scenarios or whatever throughout. And we did. And we came out Perplexity, and we came out Manus. We're like, hey, look at all these tools. And then OpenClaw came out, and it immediately, we went 2 episodes in, and not only has it changed the industry, but it's also changed the way that we think, because we're like, let's talk about tools. Now it's not really about the tools. Now it's about the systems, and the systems that not only Taptico is building, but people who are out there learning how to code in this way, who are turning into real positions. They're calling them CAOs, which is your chief agent officer, which we have one. And Nick's been the orchestrator of that. but just how it's changed from, hey, check out these tools. You can do these things. Now, check out how to build an agent, how to create a team, how to actually make everything automated to just excel your business, your thought process, your ability to have success 100-fold.
Yeah, and I think the best way to, Dave, I don't know if it's this part in the show, but can we showcase what our agents look like, our team of agents?
Yeah, man, feel free. It's pretty awesome. Yes, absolutely.
Nick, while I'm pulling that up, why don't you talk about our Slingshot squad?
Slingshots. So we talked about it earlier. So the Slingshots are run by Bo. Bo is our chief agent operator. So he has a team of 52 right now. It's about to be 53 Slingshots that are basically sub agents. So they live. This is all lives on my computer, so it's super secure. But our Slingshots, 52 of them. Looks like 50 are in there, but we have 52 of them, I guess, including Bo. But they are all specially trained at a PhD level in their own very specific niche, right? Their own lane. So there's a copywriter, there's an SEO guy. His name's Serpico. We have Protocol there. So Protocol is our agent that identifies standard operating procedures for us, so that when we create something new or develop a process once, we just say, hey, run the go-to-market SOP for this client. And it's done. It's done within an hour. And we talk to all these guys on Discord. But what you're seeing right here is a visualization that they built of themselves. But sorry, I forgot to say the Slingshots deal. So I said, Bo, what do you want to call your team? We have to name your team something. And he's like, he said, we're going to brainstorm. And this is all on Telegram or Discord or text, however I was talking to him, which I can do all those. But he came back with the ensemble, and I was like, it's cute because you're the orchestrator, but it doesn't really line up with Taptico's why. And our why is to help the small businesses, the Davids, take on the Goliaths. So they came back and said, well, we love the David versus Goliath analogy, so we're going to call ourselves the Slingshots because we're the weapons they use. And I was like, boom, nailed it. So what you're looking at is a virtual office where our Slingshots are going to work, and if we need to put a little broom closet in there to get some spicy, like, wow, look at Iris and Maverick.
Who's in the broom closet?
Oh, we will be renaming these guys though. I want to do 80s and 90s icons. So off the bat, you know exactly who they are, because honestly, I don't remember. I know what Lucy does because Lucy is short for Lucifer, and she's the devil's advocate agent. So
I know what Vince does. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's all good. So Lucy literally, like, she's there to be the negative Nancy in the room. Like, that's not going to work because of this and this and this. Because if she can poke holes in it, so can our competitors. And so can your competitors. So if we can poke holes in our own plan, it's not a good plan. So Lucy allows us to poke holes, and then we go and fill them up. So that's literally what she does.
And we have Vince, who is short for convince. He's our sales guy. He's helping us with lead gen and cold outreach and stuff. I want to talk specifically about the Instagram reel. You shared a reel this morning where there's somebody that you follow that was talking specifically about what it is that you're building, that we're building, and how important it is. And he's kind of going, hey, it's the moment. This is for real. This CAO, if you're a small business, if you're a startup, this is going to be one of your first hires. And there are a lot of people out there that are trying to catch up and go, well, I need a job, or I need to learn this, or I'm going to lose my job, or whatever. But talk about a little bit like how important this knowledge is now, and how accessible it is not only for other people, but also for small businesses who are looking for someone to hire, how they can hire us, and we can come in, not to just toot our own horn, but this is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it.
I don't know that there's a lot of people doing this. It's so new. So was that for me or Tribble?
It's for whoever wants.
So I would say I went by Costco. It was Costco yesterday because I wanted to get a MacBook Mini, which a lot of people are building these OpenClaws on MacBook Minis because They're small, but they're secure, right? So OpenClaw needs to run locally. And when I say locally, that means on a computer in your house or in your office, because going back and forth, the security features just aren't there yet on OpenClaw specifically. That's why Bo runs on a computer that sits on my desk. Never turns off, which is why I need to get a Mac Mini, because that's an old computer and it might explode soon. But what happened? So you're talking about the Jason Kalakanakis, and Jason Kalakanakis is one of the co-founders of PayPal, and he's one of these Silicon Valley bros, right? So All In Podcast is him and a bunch of like very successful founders, and they're all over the OpenClaw thing because they also see the potential that's there, right? It's very, very early, but it's improving very, very quickly. And what happened on Monday, so we're recording this on March the 18th. This will come out next Monday. So a week from today, if you're watching this on the 23rd, look at the quick math on Nick.
Whoa.
Wow.
Actually, I knew that because we have a new client starting next Monday, and I've been writing the contracts for that. But the 23rd is next Monday. So this will come out on the 23rd. So a week ago, Jensen Huang, who started NVIDIA, this is where you stopped me earlier. So he said, and there's a quote, and I'll butcher the quote, but it said basically, OpenClaw is the new way that people are going to do business. He's got nothing to do with OpenClaw, right? He's not a part of it. In fact, OpenAI bought or hired the guy that built OpenClaw.
Peter
So he doesn't
Steinberger.
That's right. So he doesn't even work with NVIDIA. But what they did, because there are security concerns and it's not scalable to have it, living at your house, is they released something called NemoClaw. NemoClaw he calls it like a 5-layer security blanket that you put over your OpenClaw. So it's basically enterprise grade OpenClaw. And this is what we're going to start providing for our clients that are enterprise that want to have this for their businesses. Right now, our clients are using our OpenClaw. They're sending us stuff to do. We use the Slingshots, our 52 agent squad, get it done quick. It's awesome. Boom. Still human in the loop, all that stuff. But what NVIDIA is doing, it's free, by the way. All this is free. You just have to know how to run it. And that's where the problem comes in. You also have to buy the hardware. So the bet that NVIDIA is making is because they own all of the chips. They sell all the chips that all the AI runs on. They're trying to get as many people as possible to need their products, right? So what they're doing is they're creating the product, but they're also generating and manufacturing the demand for the product.
Crazy.
Right? So it's basically like if God or whoever invented man or created man, if God was like, you know what, I'm going to create man, but they're going to have to breathe air, and I'm going to charge them for the air they have to breathe. That's exactly
You are, you always say, especially every call we're on, you're a king of analogies, and you're really, really good at it. It really paints the picture. If you can, in an analogy or in just regular speak, paint the picture for what's next. Like, really, I mean, we can feel the energy in the rooms when we're in it together. We can feel the excitement and enthusiasm on the energy when we're talking with clients. Like, I mean, we are definitely, we're fired up because not only the knowledge that we're gaining, but the excitement and the enthusiasm to how we can actually help clients get to the next level in their business. Either one of you guys want to speak a little bit about like the visual, like where do you see this going for?
I can go if you want me to.
No, I just see how, we just signed a client that I'm going to serve as main account manager. Nothing scares me. There's nothing that we would say no to now. For in the past, we could figure it out and maybe take a little time. Not only do we not say no to it, but Nick can attest to this. Sometimes on calls, we can answer what would have taken a weekend to do. We can give it to them in 5 minutes before the end of the call. So that's kind of the exciting thing for me. And that's the vision that I see, is like a confidence within this company and a confidence between all of us that we can go out there and really, truly make a difference and fast. And that's why I think we're all so fired up.
So I'll say absolutely, and I actually did that on the call today. One of our clients was like, "Can you guys do this?" And I was like,
Done. We just did
"It's
it.
in your house."
Yeah.
Literally,
Just did
like,
it.
here
It's
it
in
is.
your inbox right now.
Yeah, legitimately did that, and it was one of his rocks. And rocks is, if you guys, okay, this is another. I don't care how long this goes because this is good stuff, Dave. Just FYI. So if you own a small business or run a small business or work in a small business, even a medium-sized business, one of the through lines that we're seeing at Taptico is that 99% of them are living in chaos, right? They live in complete chaos, push things off, like they ghost meetings and they're late on deadlines because they don't have systems in place. Right? The way that Gusto became an Inc. 5000 company and the fastest growing brand in Atlanta was because we incorporated something called EOS. It's a book by a guy named Gino Wickman, who I highly encourage, if your business is running in a chaotic way, implement EOS. It's Entrepreneur Operating System. Makes everything smoother. Okay, so you have that. Put that aside. What this is changing, and EOS, someone's sending text. I hear it over there. Unbelievable.
Not
What
me.
EOS does is it establishes rocks. So rocks are big, hairy, audacious goals, which you've probably heard that, and I hate that they use the word hairy. It's just gross to me. So big goals that every 90 days you need to work on. And this is like uh, creating momentum or new things in the business, right? But it's every 90 days. How this is changing things, it's completely supplanting that. And right now, a to-do is a weekly task that builds to a rock, right? Imagine the rock is to write a book, and your weekly to-do is to write a chapter for the book. And your daily to-do or task at that point would be to write a page in the chapter and the chapters that will build the book. What we're doing now is we're writing the book in a to-do time span. So these 3 months, we're going to spend 3 months on it. You might, but people that have these AI systems implanted and integrated into their businesses, they're doing it in a week. And I just wrote a blog, and the line I said was, "You're riding a bicycle, and people that use these systems are flying in a private jet above you."
Seriously.
And that is, I'm not bullshitting. This is no joke. That is exactly what's happening. Why? Because we're using it ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it, and we're ironing out. There's a lot of kinks. It's such a new product, but we're scraping our knees on us, right? We're figuring these things out. And whenever the issue hits or their problem, like Bo goes offline all the time. And one of y'all text me and say, "Hey, Bo's offline." And I have to go wherever I am. I go pull up my laptop, figure it out, hammer it out. And I say, "Bo, why did you crash?" He tells me, I say, "Create an SOP for if that happens again so you don't crash for the same reason ever again." So the first time we lost Bo was a 12-day. It took me 12 days to revive him. Now we're down to like 3 minutes. So he'll
Do
go
you ever
offline. Minutes.
do you ever feel like you're playing Sims? Like, I mean, not only with the video that you showed, but like you're playing a video game. I mean, even yesterday we were all talking about, we all have assistants now. I have an assistant, her name is Joe. She's my assistant through Manus, who talks to the Slingshot crew. You have Bo and Heidi. One's through Manus, the Manus agent, and then Tribble comes in with Betsy. And we were able to create them avatars and personalities and stuff. I mean, you got to feel like sometimes you're like, I feel like I'm playing a video game. Like, does it feel
I'll
like
tell
that
you
at all?
the better analogy is I feel like Iron Man and Jarvis.
Uh-huh.
When he
Yeah.
walks in, he's like, "Good morning, Jarvis. What do we got today?" And that's literally when I come out, because I live in a little studio loft and I work. You can see my fridge right behind me. I come out, I turn everything on, I fire everything up. I've got multiple screens. I'm like, let's get to work. And most often, because I use Telegram and iMessage and all that stuff to talk to Bo and my AI assistant, her name is Heidi. I'm already like, as soon as I wake up with ideas and like, oh, let's look at this or figure this out. And I send it to them. Like if I see a reel or a TikTok that makes sense, I'm like, I wonder if this would work with Taptico. I send it to Heidi. I'm like, hey, vet this out and see if this makes sense for Taptico to implement. She'll, on a scale of 1 to 100, I've got her trained for all this stuff, right? On what 1 is like, don't even waste your time. Like, why did you send me this crap, you idiot? To 100, which is drop everything and do this now. She'll scale it. She'll grade it on that scale. And if it's an 80 or above, she implements it immediately. So she can build product specs or SOPs or whatever. Send it to me, and then we send that to the Slingshots, and they put the meat on the bones.
And what can't get lost in this is how smart their responses are. Like, we're not talking about, that was kind of half baked. Like, if you ask them something, they're going to over deliver. And that's the biggest, like, agents, it's just another level of understanding, of output. That's what's
I'll
amazing
say,
about it.
and the blog, this is one thing where I think that humans aren't, some people will be screwed, but, which is fine. Other things will come up, right? But in my blog, I said the 2 missing components that AI does not have right now is taste and wisdom, right? So they don't have the wisdom. Like, Bo presented something to us, and I was like, well, that's not going to work because of this, because I've been doing this for a quarter century,
Yeah.
so I've got the experience and the wisdom to know that's not a good thing. So, and I pointed out, and he's like, oh, you're right. I didn't think about that. And even Heidi is actually mentoring Bo because she's the smarter agent, because she was built by Manus and Meta, right? So the Facebook engineers built Heidi. We built Bo. I'm not as smart as the Meta engineers combined. I'm just going to go ahead and take the L. Fine. What I've done is I said, Heidi, you're a better agent and you're programmed better than I programmed Bo. I want you to mentor Bo every day. And they have, and I've see the conversations, and so do you guys. It's in our Discord war room. Every day she teaches him new things. So all I'm doing is injecting Bo, mainlining the information and the guidelines and the guardrails and the setups and the frameworks right out of Meta AI's engineering and program departments right into our guy. So we're siphoning their wisdom from a programming standpoint.
It's almost impossible to keep up with what the abilities and the potential is. Like, you have a moment and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to give Heidi a voice. I want to connect her now to Bo. I want to make sure she gets my emails. I want her to now send emails on my behalf. And your brain is going and you're like, okay, I think that we've had to talk to the Slingshots a few times because you do this and you're kind of like, you're very, very interested in a new idea. And it's like, okay, Slingshots have to bring you to get down a little bit and go, okay, let's finish this idea before we move to that idea. Let's get to because we're literally at a place right now where there is nothing that can't be done in this realm. I mean, obviously right now AI is not going to go out and cut my grass,
Soon.
but there are,
It could.
Very soon. The robots are coming, brother. Optimus.
Yeah. So, it's just every day it feels like, oh, I got this idea. And all you have to do is make it happen. And that's what's really exciting. And, we're talking to a lot more clients, potential clients and all that. And the question continues to come up. And we talked about this a moment ago when they're like, can you do this? And we're like, yes. Can you do this? Yes. Like, there just doesn't feel like there's a lot that's not in our wheelhouse anymore of like, can we execute? And not only can we just execute it, but we can execute it with knowledge, with thought, with consideration, and then with results. Because if you're not getting results, we know pretty quickly that it's not working, and all we have to do is we just have to adjust the conversation, or pull another expert in.
And one of the cool things, like, this is where Garrison is another one of our agents, and Garrison is there to protect our business, our future-proof our business by building a moat, right? We're creating a fortress around our business. So I won't get into the details, but so today, and Tribble, I'm gonna put you on the spot. So today, Bo said, hey, Nick, we're waiting a lot of things from you. And I was like, sorry, dude, I'm busy. What's the log jam? And he told me what, like 5 or 6 projects or tasks that needed my okay, like literally just yes or no or go or whatever. And I said, well, built you, and I've set you up in iMessage so he can send me text directly. And I was like, if anything is at the stale state or you need an urgent reply, text me. This is a tier 3 need, which is a yes, go, hold. And so, Tribble, do you remember what the SOP is?
He messaged me back. Fair point. I'll stay quiet unless you need me. Oh, but having Nick's call, but having you there as a non-technical guy who gets it could add a good perspective up to him.
So basically, I have to approve any sort of change in there's Bo. I have to approve any change in his architecture because I built him. These guys don't really know all of the ins and outs. So if, like, for instance, Dave said, CC me on this email, and it broke the sequence on, like, we're doing a test email, but the agent accidentally CC'd the client instead of Dave, and it was just a draft email. I was like, no, don't do that. So I put a guardrail, right? And I said, only I can do this because I know how everything's wired. These guys don't. I don't expect them to. They didn't spend 3 weeks building this crap. I mean, I'm sorry, this treasure.
Whoa, treasure.
Come on.
So,
if
but
Heidi heard you call her crap, she would not be happy.
Well, I didn't build her, so that's
Bo
true. Will tell you. He'll be the first to tell you that my favorite agent is Heidi. He knows that. But this is us going through the motions, and like with what Tribble was just talking about, the guardrail is if I'm a holdup, he can now text me, hey, Nick, this is becoming a log jam. I need your go ahead on this. And all I have to do is say yes, no, or hold, or I'll get back to you today. And that's a new thing, right? So every time that we build one of these SOPs, we're learning it on behalf of our current clients and our future clients. So they don't have to learn them. And that's the wisdom in what we're doing.
All three of us need to think back for a second, back when we were doing our jobs previously, whatever job that was, when I was running my business, or when I was working in radio, or you were running Gusto, or Tribble, you were a reality TV show. I don't know. Is that all you did? Anyway, but like, if we had those tools now or then, like really having this perspective and going, okay, in that job, wow, I would have been 10 times better at what I did than what I was, you know?
More productive. You're still good.
Yes.
You just don't have the time to produce.
Yeah. And you think about it too, because we talk with clients all the time who are like, I'm too busy. I don't answer emails. I don't have time. I can't do it. There's too many things I'm thinking at once. Now imagine, we set up the Slingshot crew for somebody, and, the head guy gets the text, hey, logjam here, just hit yes or no. And he's like, wow, that was easy. And nobody else had to wait for him. And now that job got done, and now they're moving on to the next one. So, I mean, there are so many ways to utilize these tools. And I mean, we every time
people are going to move from saying I'm too busy to I'm too productive.
Yeah.
I've produced too much, and I'm not bullshitting. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, we have to figure it out because we have so many things flying because we're just creating so much. Right. And we have to like, okay, we got to stay focused on the thing is the thing and what's the thing. But us going through, and again, that's like, the wisdom, right? We're learning, we're scraping our knees, and we're falling on our face sometimes, and Bo crashes out, and we're learning that so that you don't have to. And that's why our tagline is we learn AI so you don't have to.
And on that, the tagline, we learn AI so you don't have to. You can learn more about us and how we utilize these systems, and then how we can implement these systems for you at Taptico.com. That evolution in itself, our website is so much fun to be a part of. Doing
Good job, Dave.
Thank you. It's a group
great.
effort. Doing the podcasts here, and obviously you can hit us up on socials. You can listen to this podcast almost anywhere where you can get podcasts, but call us. I mean, Tribble had a conversation with a friend of his who's like, we're trying to figure out AI. And she's like, can we just hire you guys as a consultant? Like help us just kind of figure out our systems. We are probably more advanced than most of the people that if you're listening to this and not already in the AI world. So, it doesn't hurt to drop us an email on our website and see if it's something that we can help you with. So,
Absolutely.
guys, I'm learning every single day. My brain is getting
Do a
bigger
good
and
job,
bigger.
buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, y'all. And we'll catch you next time. Dave Learns AI. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
I love you all.
This is Dave Learns AI, a Taptico Solutions podcast. I'm Dave Clapper, diving into the real-world ways AI is changing business, creativity, and how we work. No fluff, no jargon, just practical insights and experiments you can learn from right alongside me.
All day.